Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing another reaction video. This time it's going to be mostly around BJJ and disqualifications. So I'm just going to get stuck straight in because I know the last few videos I've kind of spoken a lot about my experience of jiu-jitsu and martial arts. So if you want to know anything about my experience, go and check my previous videos. Let's just get stuck straight in. Right, let's go. Do you know what, like, the type of jiu-jitsu I do isn't particularly competitive. We do have a couple of competitions a year, but when you're doing a competitive martial art, to get so caught up in it that you do stuff like that is just ridiculous. Okay, yeah, you might think that that's quite funny, and but there is such a high chance of real injury from doing things like that. And the problem is that because, you know, martial arts are full contact, especially in BJJ, you know, they're full contact, there are so many issues that can come from it. And if you're doing a full contact art where there is such a high chance of injury, you don't want to then exceed that by then training with an idiot who's going to further increase your chance of injury by basically being an arsehole. Let's see what the response is. Yeah, and look, he's still being an arsehole. And now the other guy's got up and is like putting his hands in the air, wondering why he lashed out. Well, I'm not being funny, but if it were me, I would have done exactly the same thing. Yeah, so obviously man's got choke on and he's tapping and he's not letting go. So again, as I was saying from, before, with things like chokes and, any kind of locking, when you're trying to get a submission, it's all about being honest with it, right? And BJJ, especially in competitive BJJ, it's all about trying to use your skill to get that submission. So he's obviously just tapped, and then the guys continued to keep the choke on. Well, there's only one thing that's going to happen, and that is the dude's going to go unconscious, right? You're cutting off the blood from the carotids. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that was a low blow, but I don't think he was necessarily specifically going for a low blow. I don't think he was specifically going for a low blow there. I think yeah, I don't really know what he was doing. What was that? That is just signs of frustration. Like when you throw someone, like, that was just frustration. Like, you need to calm it down. Freaking fool, man. And he got disqualified and the other guy won it. Pissed. Look at him, he's standing there with his hands on his hips. Deserved that. What the hell was that? Let's go back. Oh, okay, so he kneed him in the face. At least that's what it looks like anyway. It's quite dark video from here. Can't really tell. But I think he kneed him in the face. I mean, when there are genuine accidents like that, I don't think you can really get mad at it. It's when someone does something deliberately. one of the biggest things that martial arts has taught me is about, well, a couple of things. Firstly, self-control, but also respect. And as I said, it's all because you are dealing with, you know, a full contact art. There is real chance of injury, and when oh, oh, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, that's unfortunate. God. Why is he being so sick? Well, at least he didn't vomit on him, and at least he didn't shit himself. That's even worse. Oh, well, I suppose that's the dangers of. Oh man. Okay, that's a bit deep. I mean, come on. Like, what was the point in that? Tell you what though, there is nothing worse than that. Like when you end up landing flat on your back, God, it takes all of the air out of you. You'll be that would not have been comfortable. Oh, so his head, yeah, that, you can see that there. He obviously went up to get rid of the guy by slamming him into the floor and came on top with a headbutt. That was obviously accidental, but that's just, I mean, that's the stupidity of throwing your weight down as well. And he did it again. Same thing. Exactly the same thing. Problem with things like that is you end up getting concussions and stuff. Yeah, look, he's fucking smashed his head open. Jesus. Oh, that nice triangle. Nice triangle. Come on. Do you know what's so dangerous about these things? There's a couple of reasons. Firstly, you're essentially ploughing the person into the floor. And what happens is you kind of, there's obviously injury to neck is a big thing, especially when, you know, you're slamming the person down like that. But also, like, although they're on mats, they're smashing the back of the head into the mat. And mats are designed to soften your fall, right? It's not like being thrown onto a crash mat. They're still very dense, so you smash your head into it, and like concussion is definitely on the on the cards. That you can quite easily get concussed from doing that. He's gonna do the same thing. Bang, straight away. Look at him. Come on. Looks like he's going for a... See, look. Smashing the back of the head, back of the neck. Now, this is the other thing. I mean, in certain martial arts, I suppose, like if we're talking UFC, there are different rules, I suppose, with doing things like that. But then you're kind of getting into a cage to fight someone, so, you know. The whole point in a lot of competitive martial arts, BJJ, judo, with most of it, it's either a clean throw or a submission. Like, the aim is not to break the person. Okay. Yeah, look, with her, she obviously hit her head on the mat. It's horrible. What the hell? Nah, man. It's just frustration. Like, why would you do? Do you know what the worst thing? So there's obviously, like, these guys are, you know, they're doing their thing. They're sparring. When that happens and you start to get frustrated, you start to lose your cool, you get angry, and that's the worst thing. Like, an angry fighter, a frustrated fighter, it is not a fighter that's on his game or her game, because you start throwing in bigger punches, you start making mistakes. The person that, although you really want to smash their head in, or you're getting really, although mentally you might be getting angry, like, if the person that's able to, like, calm that down and still focus is the one that will ultimately win, unless obviously skill is a massive part of it as well. But, you know, if you're talking about somewhat, you know, opponents with similar skill levels, yeah, you end up making mistakes. What the? Man, these guys are idiots. Just idiots. What's the point? Alright guys, well, I'm going to leave it there. That was just... It's so frustrating watching it, because it's amazing how frequently that kind of thing happens. And I get it, because, you know, you train hard to compete, and then when you're losing, like, it is frustrating, but... Like, at the end of the day, my view on it is that there's always another fight, there's always another day. Like, don't play dirty, don't allow your frustrations to get the better of you, because otherwise, like, you'll seriously injure someone, or you'll injure yourself, you know. And the whole point, a massive part of martial arts is this whole idea of respect and self-control. And if you haven't got that, then, you know, you're always going to have a massive flaw in your ability to preserve yourself from the mat. Yeah, right, I'm gonna leave it here. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Want to know anything more about these kind of videos, comment down below, and as always, if you're new, consider subscribing. Alright guys, see you next time. Peace.